Yo, what is up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. We've got a longer one for you today, so sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy. Someone told me recently they like when I say that for the longer videos. It's become a bit of a tradition. I'd say probably when videos are 30 minutes or over. But the Weather Cup just came out earlier today. I did some awesome battles on stream, and this is the team we're rocking: Blaziken in its shiny glory, Credilli, and Whiscash. And one thing you might notice is a common strategy or tactic in PvP is if you lose the lead, you go into your safe swap or your soft counter against what the lead Pokemon was, so you hope to line up your hard counter against it later on. I actually have a different approach with this team, you'll see, because Credilli, in my opinion, is very safe in this meta. It's going to be able to get shield advantage against most things. So you're going to see me swap Credilli even when I have perhaps a... even when I'm swapping it in as like my best answer to something, just because it's, for example, Abomasnow is pretty common in this meta. If I swap Whiscash and it's met by Abomasnow, I'm kind of screwed. But if I swap Credilli and they swap Abomasnow, I can get shield advantage by threatening the Stone Edge. So that's one example where the Credilli safe swap I think is really lethal in this meta. And here you see Whiscash going to town. We're lined up against the Blaziken here. I'm going to let this go through. And it is a Brave Bird, but I'm okay with that because I can get rid of this Blaziken on the other side. And I can then build up energy here. And I still have a shield. So Swampert would have had to double up. Blaze Kick should be just about enough from this range. And we take out the Swampert. So game number 1 of Weather Cup, always a good sign when we overcome a tough lead. Blaziken into Swampert, and we get the win. Tough lead, tough counter swap, but our Whiscash in the back put in quite a bit of work. And here is what not to do in your second game of the Weather Cup after a nice win to start things off, is to go into the wrong league. And we go into the Open Great League. Trevenant should not be here. And I immediately told the chat at this point, guys, I just realized we're triple weak to Trevenant. And they were like, Rise, you're in the wrong league. I do this every time there's a new league that's like there's like a new meta that's the same league as the other league. I'm saying the word league too many times, my apologies. But Weather Cup, of course, is also 1500 CP limit in addition to the Great League. Our opponent swaps here. So I'm going to get off some grass knots against this Bastiodon, chip it away. And I'm thinking, is there any way I could like get out of here eventually, maybe farm up a ton with Whiscash and try and flip this game, because the Trevenant is just such a problem for our team. We don't have really an answer to it. So we're going to try our best here. I double up on moves, thinking maybe that could do something for me in the future. And we're going to come in here with Whiscash, just mud-shotting away. Unfortunately, our opponent's not switch-locked for very long. I go for the Blizzard here. I lose CMP because I thought he would throw right away, but he didn't for whatever reason. Man, if he had thrown... If I had thrown right away, I would have gotten the shield first and then maybe save a shield for Blaze. But let's see if it would have mattered. I don't bother throwing the Mud Bomb, because if I throw the Mud Bomb right, then he can just farm up more. That's not what we want. So I let Whiscash go down after committing to the Blizzard. I get off the Stone Edge here. The unfortunate thing is Stone Edge is 55 energy, Grass Knot's 50 energy, so I'm not going to get to another one. So I swap out, and unfortunately we just barely don't counter down, unless it was like a Swampert in the back. That was probably the only win con. Yeah, GG's there. The guy that beat us came into our chat afterwards and asked if we were in the wrong league, and I was like, yes. You know, I need someone to do a scientific study, by the way, a scientific research study in the Pokemon Go PvP Twitch community. When a streamer loses a battle, how frequently do they get wished GG's in the chat? versus when they win a battle. How frequently do they get Wish GGs? I think we got to change the culture. I think GGs after a loss needs to be more common. It shouldn't be 8 consecutive GGs after you lose before you get a GGs after you win, you know? It's not fair to the streamer and their mental health. So Blaziken beats the Razor Leaf Ludicolo pretty easily. And we get a shield from the Kingdra. In comes Bastiodon, and this is okay. Bastiodon is just so bulky, right? It's going to take these grass knots, no problem. But I'm going to try and get into my Whiscash as soon as possible. Oh, and I was actually so confident at this point that we BM, and we Stone Edge the Bastiodon just to make a statement. And they're going to throw a move here at our Whiscash. But right, where you have a Whiscash up a shield, all he has in the back is that Kingdra that's like half health. And we get the win. So yeah, that was over. Because we could just simply farm up a ton, right, with Whiscash since he was still switch locked. And by the time he could get out of there, we'd just be firing away mud bombs. Bombs Away. Great song by B.O.B. featuring Morgan Freeman. Let me know in the comments if you know that song. This is getting a little off topic as we queue against Duck Eater 14 and a great lead against Abomasnow. And they stay in. And guys, this should be like a very a textbook example in the book of PvP. Like, if they're staying in here, I know that whatever's in back is going to be weak to Blaziken. So I'm going to preserve the Blaziken. I'm going into Credilli. And debating whether I want to keep it around or not. He's staying in for a bit, which makes me think maybe I should keep Credilli around so I shield. Credilli's waving its hair back and forth like Willow Smith. And it's actually a Bastiodon, so this surprised me. I feel like he should have swapped, to be honest. Because, like, Bastiodon is going to struggle against Blaziken, but it's not going to do as bad as Obama. So, like, I don't think he wins this game anyway if he swaps Bastiodon. But I think it would have been better than just letting Abomasnow get fully countered down. He's going to Stone Edge us. Whiscash just doesn't care. The Cash Daddy. And Stone Edge, not going to do much. At this point, we're going to commit our shield to Whiscash, because I know I can get off 2 Mud Bombs here before Swampert lands another Hydro Cannon. So we get off the first. We go for the second. And this becomes a little bit scary because Swampert is going to get to 1 here. But we should still be fine, right? Because we still have our Credilli. So we can come in with Credilli here to be safe. And then we're just going to swap Blaziken and go for that Blast Burn after 1 counter, which should be enough to knock out Bastiodon from here. Blast Burn just so hard hitting. Bang. Knocks it out. And gets us the win. We got our shiny Community Day Blaziken as well. You can also run Brave Bird, which you're actually going to see me switch to later in this video with a different Blaziken. Terrific lead against the Bastiodon. They swap Samurott, which is kind of cool. I actually like this pick. I think I might try it on stream if I stream on Friday. Because it's really like neutral in this meta, even against things that hard counter it. For example, like you might think Credilli is a hard counter to Samurott. Not so much. With access to Fury Cutter and Megahorn, it can definitely make Credilli work here. I didn't think he had quite enough for the Megahorn. It's always kind of scary, right, with such a spammy energy generation move to keep track. But I was able to correctly call that he didn't have enough. And now we're faced with like a tough decision, right? Because we don't necessarily want to reveal our third mon if we don't have to, but Whiscash can tank a Stone Edge way better than Bastiodon can. A Stone Edge would hurt Bastiodon quite a bit. Or, sorry, Blaziken would hurt Blaziken quite a bit. And they swap in the Swampert, and this is where we want Whiscash to be. I decided to take this. I know I can live a Hydro. I'm going to get off this second Mud Bomb and check out what I do here. I get off the Mud Bomb. I know Blaziken has a few counters, so I actually swap in the Blaziken. I'm going to shield here, knowing I can outpace Swampert to a move. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 counters. I think Blaziken would win CMP probably, but I just throw after 4 to be safe. And now we're in a commanding position here. I don't think Bastion had much energy. Nice little win. Nice Samurott from the opponent. Cool Pokemon. As I think we went 4-1 in that set, with our only loss being the one we queued into the wrong league. And once again, bombs away. I was going on a tangent for a second, then I became focused on the battle. Bombs away was our team's JV high school basketball walkout song. You always had a walkout song you'd come to. We thought we were the coolest kids in the world. Our games were like, we didn't always get a ton of fans, right? We're JV. It's mostly just the parents and then like friends of ours. And this opponent just was having a bad day. Totally hard countered. So they top left. But our varsity team, when I was a sophomore, was like I think they were like top 20 in the country. They had lots of amazing players. Riley Chance, one of them, currently plays in the NBA G League. But the entire starting lineup basically like all played Division I college athletics. I think like 9 players on that team played Division I college sports. Some of them football, of course, American football, and many basketball players and a couple of football players. And my friend Elijah played baseball in college. So just like a crazy senior class they had, where they were all good, all super athletic. But anyway, people would always file in towards the end of our games because the varsity games were always sold out. So if we ever had like a cool finish, that sophomore year on JV, it was kind of cool because we had such a big crowd. And our walkout song, that's where this whole thing started, was Bombs Away by B.O.B. featuring Morgan Freeman. And it's the most epic, narration of Morgan Freeman, that song. It goes, as the war between light and darkness continues, heroes and villains become harder to identify. Kindred spirits separated at birth, fighting for their place in time to be solidified. The clock ticks faster and faster while time runs a marathon in this Babylon. But see, the end is only the beginning of the calm before the storm. And then B.O.B.'s like, I used to dream of success. Now success is inadequate. Anyway. Those are good memories, man. Anyone that's watching this that played high school sports, like I'm sure you have some good memories with the team and everything. Those were the days. But now the days consist of taking down Swampert. And this Grassnot's going to take out 46,000 Swamperts. That's an exaggeration. But it does a lot of damage. And now our opponent's thinking, and it's an Abomasnow. And I'm like, crap, dude. I thought we might be okay. But nah, unfortunately, double grass is tough for our team when one of those grasses, Abomasnow especially. Also, credit to the opponent. We swapped Credilli, and they swapped their own Credilli, right? So, like, to read our team, maybe he knew our team. Maybe he was watching stream or something. But to not swap his... Well, if he swaps Abomasnow, I guess he probably wins either way, right? Because then he has Credilli on Whiscash. But not necessarily. Because if he swaps Abomasnow, I get shield advantage. And if I keep my shield advantage, then Whiscash up a shield could potentially land the Blizzard on Credilli. So, yeah. Pretty crazy, wacky call by him to swap his own Credilli. All right. Searching for our next opponent. I was reciting Morgan Freeman and B.O.B., so maybe I think it was a Credilli swap. Maybe I'm just zoning out. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Just kidding. I'm here. And looks like we're starting to get some queue times. So we're going to fast forward. And look who it is. Caleb Pang. And check out what happens here. This is kind of wild. We have a terrible IV Blaziken. But it must have like some sort of weird breakpoint. It must have some sort of weird breakpoint. Or maybe we're like dealing an extra damage on our counter. Because he shields, goes for the farm down, and we simul KO. That should not happen. And then we give up switch here. Wait, what just happened there? We came in with Credilli. He came in Basti. Okay, yeah. So it was a simul KO. So then we swap, and he meets our Whiscash with a Credilli. Luckily, we are ahead energy. So I didn't feel like it was necessary to bait him. I felt like I could get off 2 Blizzards before he could get to 3 Grass Knots, since I started a bit ahead. I'm going to do 4 here. Go for the Blizzard. This should KO after all the Mudshot damage we did. Bang. 1-shots. And now, hopefully, with this Mud Bomb chip, this should pave the way for our Credilli to close this out. Mud Bomb's going to do quite a bit of damage. Double super effective. Does like 40% or so. And Caleb always rocking his trusty steed, his trusty Bastion. You know, I saw a clip from the anime somewhat recently. Like, I think because Bastion's so tanky, I think of it as like this slow-moving dinosaur thing. But in the anime, it's actually like really fast. Bastion was battling and it was like running around. It was charging at the opponent. It's a little speedster, ain't it? Probably not. I don't really play the main series game much, but Bastion probably has like a low speed stat. And I recently also found out that Aerodactyl has the highest speed in the main series game. I would not have guessed that. I would have thought it was maybe like, I don't know. Maybe like a Zapdos, something that could just like zoom, like zoop, zoop. Anyway, we swap Credilli. We're met by a Razor Leaf Obama. This is better than seeing a Powder Snow Obama. They gotta respect the Stone Edge. They're gonna throw here. I'm debating if I want a shield to get off this Stone Edge or not. I decide, you know what? I am gonna shield. I'm gonna get your shield in return, probably. So I go for a Stone Edge here, and he gives up switch, which was really smart. Because now he's up energy, and I have to make a call here. I decide to call it. It is a Zuka, and we don't get debuffed. So that's like best case scenario for us. We build up to double Mud Bomb. We get a shield. We're going to go for a second Mud Bomb. I'm not going to reach Blizzard here. And I'm going to have to swap out, which is obviously unfortunate, because I might get debuffed here by an Octazooka. Octazooka doesn't debuff us. How lucky are we? And then we're just met by this dang Squidward. This dang Tentacruel. And we're thinking, oh man, if only we were running Brave Bird. If only we were running Brave Bird, maybe it would have KO'd. So Whiscash Daddy, gotta get off the Mud Bomb. Unfortunately, I think that Kingdra is just a little bit healthier than our Whiscash. And of course, Dragon Breath's gonna do a lot more damage than Mudshot. Mudshot's a great energy generation move, not a great damage fast move. So with that, the chat had had enough of our Blast Burn Blaziken. And it was time to transition to Brave Bird Blaziken. And we will see if the Brave Bird can pay off here with the new Blaziken. This Blaziken also has better IVs. But you're going to see in the Blaziken mirror match our bad Blaziken. And not bad as in bad. I mean, he does have bad IVs, but like he's a bad Blaziken. He's bad, man. Terrific lead for a new Blaziken. And this is just RPS City, man. We don't want to get carried away. Also, you don't necessarily want to get too greedy in this matchup here with Credilli, because you can't quite farm him down here before he gets off 3 Surfs. So you have to make a decision. Like, either you're going to throw your second Grass Knot, or you're going to fully commit to a farm down and shield once. And what I end up deciding here is I'm going to fully commit to the farm down and shield once because I know I can get my shield back against the Sand Slash. There's a chance. Nah, I don't think I live a Surf. I don't think I would have lived a Surf after those Sparks. So we're going to get off a Stone Edge here. We were already at 100 energy, so I didn't bother throwing a Bullet Seed. And I actually hard swap Blaziken to save my energy, because I figured even though I'm giving up Switch, I'm probably going to get punished here, but my Whiscash is also good against the Sand Slash. So that's why I was willing to give up Switch. It wasn't like I had, I don't know, like a flyer in the back. I had my own Whiscash that I knew was going to do well against Sand Slash. I shield here. I made a critical mistake, though. I didn't fully wait out my switch clock that time. I'm someone that often says, like, waiting out your switch clock doesn't really matter most of the time. But that time it did matter because I would have been able to get out of here. I would have been able to get out of here and get into Whiscash faster. But we should still be fine unless the Sand Slash is, like, running Blizzard and just totally devastates us with a Blizzard. We should be okay. Please don't be a Blizzard. It's just an Ice Punch. Whiscash can take a punch. He's pretty tough. He's pretty bulky. He's got his whiskers. And he's the Mister. As he takes down the Sand Slash. Nice win for the team. We catch a Spheal as our reward. I think that was a 3-2 set. And we go to 29.56. Let's go. And we got one more set for y'all. I told you it was a longer video. Rise thinking over whatever it is he is thinking. The pose as well. Pondering. I kind of like the new Legend pose. Kind of pondering life. Maybe. Maybe there's like another meaning to it. From the main series, from the anime. But who is next? Cool name from the opponent. Lantern lead. Tough lead. Let's see if we can overcome it. So once again, we're going to swap in Credilli. Credilli's always our safe swap, and they swap Araquanid. I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. Stone Edge here is going to hit for quite a bit of damage against that bug typing rock. Super effective. Bang. Does quite a bit of damage. So, of course, Araquanid has access to Bug Buzz and also Bubble Beam. Bug Buzz would hit for super effective, so we respect it, and it is a Bug Buzz. That's really good for us. Grass Knot should be enough from here, so I'm simply going to go for Grass Knot. Grabs a shield, and I'm just going to try and get off this next Grass Knot right away. He's going to have to go down a shield now to maintain switch advantage. And he does so. He goes down a shield. And at this point, I'm just going to let it go because I know it's probably a Bubble Beam. And I'm not sure I get to my Grass Knot anyway, even if I do shield. So I just let it go. I'm going to counter down with Blaziken. And I'm going to have to take a Bubble Beam in the process. But Bubble Beam's a pretty weak move. Even though it's super effective, it's not going to do too much to Blaziken. And then we hard swap Whiscash, get a head start on Mud Shots. And now our opponent is thinking he's probably double weak to Whiscash. So he actually comes in with the Lantern. I'm like, okay, this is great. This is phenomenal. Whiscash does phenomenal here. Going to get off a second Mud Bomb, winning CMP. And I'm just going to let this first one go, I would presume. If he gets off a second, I might consider shielding it to keep my Whiscash healthy. And he actually comes in with Blaziken. I'm like, okay, this is GG's. Because I can simply Mud Bomb here. This is going to do a ton of damage to Blaziken because Blaze is so glassy. And then we hard swap our own Blaziken. He doesn't even get off a move. Pretty sure he could have thrown a Blaze Kick there, but I guess he just decided not to. He wanted to commit to like a Blast Burn or a Brave Bird. And he top left. So tough lead turns into a nice win because... Oh, actually, interesting that he didn't swap Blaziken into Credilli. If he swaps Blaziken into Credilli, we probably just simply lose. So, bit of a misplay by our opponent. Maybe he was trying to big brain by predicting like a Sand Slash in the back or something. That could have been it. I don't know. Or like a Abomasnow in the back. That makes sense, actually. If he thought it was a Abomasnow in the back. But honestly, Araquanid would do fine against the Abomasnow anyway. Battle starting. BB. A legend-ranked trainer, Gastrodon. Yikes. This little menace. Not what Blaziken wants to see. We run into the abominable Snowman. Gonna get off our Stone Edge. But once again, I don't hate this counter swap because one reason, our Whiscash avoids it. Second reason, Blaziken should get a huge farm down here. And you know, one thing I could try out this meta that'd be kind of fun would be running Outrage on Abomasnow. That'd be kind of hilarious. So we shield expecting, like, just in case he was running, like, Outrage or even an Energy Ball, I figured he might go for, since a Blaziken would not be likely to shield. But we get a nice farm down. I'm going to do one counter, throw my Brave Bird, and then we're going to dip into cash. We do a bunch of damage there. What's going to be in back? It's an A9. Somehow I took 2 charms there. I'm not sure how that happened. How did this happen? What's the timing on this? So, like, I do 3. So we're in sync. He swaps, which should be a turn. I do 1 and throw, right? I don't know how I took 2 charms there. I don't know how I took 2 charms. But it is what it is. Worse things have happened in the world than taking 2 charms on your Whiscash when you should have only taken 1 charm. There are worse issues going on. We're going to shield here. Going to throw after 4. So I'm doubled up here. If he shields, I'm going to throw instantly to not take another charm. Throw right away. And at this point, I decide to swap into Blaze to do counters. And unfortunately, I give him the farm. And he has a move ready for Whiscash. So, very close game. After a tough lead, a tough counter swap, we almost pulled it off, but just not quite. I'm pretty sure if I stay in with Whiscash there, the Mud Slap damage outpaces my Mud Shot damage. So, I think I would have fainted to maybe 2 Mud Slaps, 3 at most, so we wouldn't have gotten off our Mud Bomb. I think it's the same result. I think he just outpaces. Maybe if I had pulled something cheeky, like got him to 1 counter range and then sniped. Who knows? Blaze versus Blaze. And our shiny Bad IV Blaziken, we saw basically gift us the win against Caleb. So here we go for the Blaze Kick. And unfortunately, this Blaziken, it doesn't work out so well. I'm debating what I want to do here. I decided to come in with cash, and I decide to shield at the last second. At first, I was like, I'll just take shield advantage, but I'm like, no, a Brave Bird would be pretty devastating. Then I swap Credilli, and luckily, he doesn't have a seemingly hard response now that Blaziken's gone. So I'm predicting it might be the Mirror team. It might be his own Whiscash in the back. And these Credillis just facing off. They're in sync. They're dancing. They're like the band. We get off another Grass Knot here, and we win CMP, which is massive. It's massive that we win CMP. I'm debating whether I want to shield. I'm like, you know, I will shield, because I think there's probably his own Whiscash in the back. So I throw my Grass Knot. I know I have to. This is a CMP tie. And he commits the shield. He commits the shield. And at this point, I'm just getting ready to swap my Whiscash right away to not get farmed. And now we just have the mirror. I decided to throw Mud Bomb first. And I wasn't sure in this situation. Should I go for 3 Mud Bombs or go for Mud Bomb plus Blizzard? So I decided in this moment, I think I'm going to go for Mud Bomb plus Blizzard. And hopefully it is enough. This Whiscash is going to go straight Mud Bomb. He's going for the 3 Mud Bomb strategy. I'm going to go Mud Bomb plus Blizzard. Is this Blizzard going to be enough? Come on, Whiscash. Blizzard, bang. Does a ton of damage. but he gets to a third Mud Bomb right before he goes down. Can our Whiscash withstand the Mud Bomb? It can. And one Mud Shot takes out the Credilli. So a nice win there against the Mirror team. And honestly, that might be a game that simply came down to IVs. I have a higher attack on Credilli, which allowed me to win CMP. And our Whiscash is fairly high ranked, so Whiscash was able to win the Mirror there. Blaze versus Slash, obviously a great lead. They swap in their own Blaziken, so I'm going to go Whiscash. Really solid matchup for Whiscash, of course. You kind of have to respect the Brave Bird, because counter plus Brave Bird is going to take out Whiscash, but he doesn't shield the Mud Bomb. He goes down, and we're in a commanding position. We already have switch advantage. We have a healthy Whiscash. This is almost like a 3-on-2 at this point. And Sandslash isn't even going to be able to take out Whiscash without using a shield. So Cash Daddy asserting his dominance. He's sunning the opposing team. That's something they say in like basketball, right? Like he sunned him. Maybe it's more than basketball. Maybe it's like, I don't know, like an urban type term. Mud Bomb coming through. I meant that like Urban Dictionary, you know, it's like all those slang terms. I come in Blaze, he swaps Kingdra, and like, we're fine here. I just go for a Grass Knot right away. Just not going to play any games. Don't want to risk him debuffing me before I get off a move. And at this point, I'm just not going to bother shielding, because my Blaziken can just 2-shield and counter everything down, so. And he doesn't get the debuff, dude. We got super lucky with Octazooka debuffs. That's the third Octazooka where we have not gotten debuffed. And I think we got one final battle for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls. Big Dolan 91 is the opponent. Araquanid. I make a dumb play here. I swap in Credilli. I have no idea why. I felt like I needed to get out of there, but that's like not a bad matchup for Blaziken, because I double resist the Bug Bites as Blaziken versus I take super effective here. I guess I felt like it was a bad matchup for Blaziken because he could just spam off Bubble Beams versus here he kind of has to go for a Bug Buzz to threaten me with charge moves. He shields my Grass Knot, and I knew this wasn't enough for a Bug Buzz, so I actually just no shield this. A bit of a misplay by the opponent. Gonna farm up here. He swaps into Slash. I'm able to bank the move and swap into Blaziken. And I'm gonna shield this. I'm gonna respect a potential Bulldoze. I shield the Bulldoze and counter all the way down. What's gonna come in? Is it gonna be the Araquanid? Is it gonna be something else? It's a Swampert. I go for the Brave Bird. Straight for the Brave Bird. He still has a shield, but boom! One-shots the Swampert. And Bubble Beam will probably knock us out now after we've debuffed ourselves. That's all right. We've got a fully healthy Whiscash, and our opponent is fighting to the bitter end. And when your opponent is fighting to the bitter end, when there's really no hope, that's when you BM. You Blizzard, you combo, you set it to Wombo, and you throw the Grass Knot. Bang. Knocked out the Spider and got the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this team is quite effective. We had 3 really good sets. I think I went negative my final 2 sets of this team, so just keeping it transparent that I did go negative with I went 2-3-1-4 in the 2 sets after those 3 sets where we went what did we go 4-1 4-1 3-2. So quick maths, 11 and 4, and then we went 3 and 7 afterwards. So still positive on the day. Still positive on the day, and a really solid team. One issue I led into one of the ladder sets. It's like that was such a smooth 30 minutes. Then I'm suddenly starting to struggle to talk. Pelipper lead, very difficult for this team to overcome because it hard counters Blaziken, it hard counters Whiscash. So like I had to swap in my Credilli, and then he took out my Credilli, and then it was just like game over. So yeah, Pelipper lead, I think we saw twice, is pretty much like, I hate to say an instant loss, but Unless you can like swap Credilli and they stay, or you like swap Whiscash and somehow land the Blizzard, Pelipper lead is pretty difficult for this team to deal with. But other than that, seemed pretty balanced, had a lot of fun, and overcame some tough leads. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. They help out the YouTube algorithm. And that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.